Konnichiwa, Yuka San. Hisashiburi desu.
こんにちは、ケビンさん。久しぶりです。
Genki desu ka?
元気してます。ケビンさんも元気ですか？
はい、元気です。じゃあ、始めましょうか。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
はい、英語でお願いします。
大丈夫です。OK。
はい、okay, so nice to meet you, Yuka San, once again. It's been
Nice to meet you, ケ
over
ビンさ
a year
ん。
now, I think, and I hope you're doing well. Thank
Yeah.
you, thank you so much for attending our virtual showcase. Yeah, we look forward to having you on board.
Yeah, it's my honor to have a chance to attend a convention, like a virtual convention in Nepal.
So some of us have already seen your pictures that you've sent. I think they look amazing. I know you've been in cosplay for a very long time,
Yeah,
and
almost 10 years.
almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've been cosplaying for over 10 years. And what about you? We know that you are also a doujinshi artist.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
So I started lighting Doujinshi actually when I was in the US for study abroad. So it's been almost 6 years, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, more than 6 years. Actually, it's 7 years since I started Doujin lighting.
Wow. So if you had to choose, which one would you choose? Which one do you prefer?
So actually, I literally do cosplay now, and then I put more focus on Doujinshi creation recently.
Yeah, okay. So moving on, I'm
Mhm.
sure you've attended lots of cosplay conventions, but have you also attended outside Japan?
Yes, I've attended more than 20 cosplay convention outside of Japan.
Outside of Japan.
Yeah.
So can you tell us like how it might be different, the conventions outside Japan and the ones in Japan?
So it's actually totally different. So in Japan, I don't know if it's similar to Nepal or not, but usually cosplayers stand still and then many photographers surround them and then take a photo. So it's basically the activity of photographing. But when I visited cosplay convention in the US or in Europe, usually they do some skit, which means like a stage play, just imitating some like posing and the movements from animation. So it's not just photographing, but like outside of Japan, it was more like acting and then communicating with other cosplayers as if they are real characters. So I
Yeah.
think that was a really huge difference.
So in Nepal, as you know, we've been doing cosplay conventions for a few years now, and we're the first ones to ever do cosplay convention in Nepal. And it's very similar and different to what you're saying. For example, in Nepal, a lot of people come and like they take pictures, a lot of people, and then they do different poses depending on the character. But we also really, as people who host the event, we really like the skit side of the cosplay as well. So to try to promote that, we did like a dancing kind of competition as well.
Oh, that sounds
So
really interesting.
people in cosplay will do like synchronized dancing or even like a little bit acting involved with the dancing in
Wow.
different anime themes. So it's pretty interesting. I'll send you some videos later on for you
Yeah,
to see
actually,
our
I think
event.
I saw some small, like short clips from
Yeah.
your previous convention, and I really liked it.
Yeah. So we try to push both, like the photography is not something we have to push because if someone is in cosplay, people like to take pictures. But the skit is something we have to try to make people try to do it, because it's interesting for the people attending as well.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Actually, yeah, just come out that like in Japan, another difference is actually cosplayers prefer taking photos in cosplay studio rather than like attending cosplay convention. Of course, it's up to each cosplayer, but I feel at least some of my cosplay friends they prefer going to cosplay studio. Also, there are actually more than 1,000 cosplay studio in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, there are a lot
Dedicated cosplay studio.
dedicated studio.
Wow,
So
that's
it's not
amazing.
just a photography studio, but they have a special like settings which imitates some scenes and then the setting from the animation or manga, and then they can do
Really amazing.
yeah
I
cosplay
didn't know
photo
that.
shooting.
I think next time I visit, I think I should try that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It looks like a theme park, like some Disneyland kind of thing for
And they give
anime.
you the costume also?
Sorry?
They give you the costume also?
Yes, some cosplay studio has a rental like a costume,
Yeah,
but others, of course, may bring your own costumes and then take photos with
really
that.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we can have that here in Nepal one day.
Yeah, it must be very interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so we
Mhm.
also know that you work in the anime industry.
Yes.
Can you tell me, like, for how long you've been working in the anime industry and what your experience has been like?
So it's my third year working in anime industry, and I'm in charge of international licensing,
Yeah.
which means I license some anime titles to abroad, sometimes for TV, local TV station, and sometimes to the global VOD platform like Netflix, Amazon Prime. And the title I'm currently in charge of is like a Yu-Gi-Oh series, Crocus Basketball, or Reborn, these kind of titles I'm managing.
So, what are the people like working in the anime industry? I'm assuming they're all anime fans as well, or are they like not anime fans also working in the anime industry? Like from your experience?
Yeah, of course, younger generation like me who just started working in industry, all love anime in general, and then they're so passionate. But for more like older generations, they sometimes come from TV station, and then others sometimes come from the publishers, and then they are not originally working for anime or manga. So in that case, they have more like objective viewpoint, and then actually there are even some people who don't watch anime but just in charge of licensing, and then I just don't like that. I want to be a passionate to work in the industry, so
You don't like that?
yeah. Yeah, so like I think like recently more and more people who truly love anime start working in the industry, and I think that's a really good thing.
But there is a mix.
Yeah, there's a mix.
So these days, like Netflix is becoming really big and they're getting very
Yeah.
involved in anime as well. They're
Mhm.
licensing a lot of animes as well as producing their own anime as well. What do you think about that?
I personally really appreciate Netflix to make anime available around the world. But as a person working in the industry, like there are also negative points to work with Netflix. Don't judge me, but like they because they prefer taking all the rights, which means the licensors or the creators or anime studio cannot do the promotion freely. So there are so many regulations. For example, like we have to put the logo of Netflix to everywhere, and then we cannot make it available on YouTube or some like these kind of regulations. So sometimes it prohibits the creators from doing multi promotion, and then on we have to only work with Netflix. So that is a kind of negative point. But even with that, I think the potential of Netflix to make it available for everybody in the world is really huge. And I
Yeah.
think it's a very good thing for anime
For
industry.
the promotion of anime in general.
Yeah, promotion anime.
And is the difficulties that you talked about, is it
Mhm.
only with anime that they have produced, or is it also the ones they have licensed?
Both. So like in most cases, those kind of regulations is applied for Netflix original series.
Yeah.
But for example, sometimes that even for the anime which we produce on our own, but decide to license to Netflix, then ends up being titled as Netflix original.
Yeah.
So yes, this kind of regulation can apply both Netflix original series and then the some series which is not original but ends up being streamed only on Netflix.
Yeah. So you talked about YouTube as a promotion platform. There was some news going on this year that some anime production companies are thinking of starting a YouTube channel and making it free. Have
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
you heard of this?
Actually, I've heard such kind of thing from different studios and then different anime production company. I think it's a really good trend.
You think it's good for the anime industry to make it
I
free?
think it's really good because many, even if the licensor or original producer don't do that, there are some people who are really eager to watch the contents and then put it for free. So
Yeah.
it's, like if there is a demand, I think it's better to what can I say, put something to meet that demand. Yeah.
Because you see in the music industry and also in the movie industry, there used to be a lot of piracy, but they have really controlled that now,
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
many restrictions and many like
Mhm.
stuff like Apple, with
Mhm.
iTunes and Spotify for music,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
also let's say Netflix for movies, TV shows. They give a minimum fee that will give them a really good experience of watching all the TV shows and movies.
Mhm.
So the piracy has actually gone down. That's how they controlled it.
Mhm.
But in
Mhm.
the anime scene, piracy is still very big.
Still very
I
big,
think
yeah.
it really hampers the anime industry because it's
Mhm.
very difficult to create.
Mhm.
I feel like that is also one reason why companies are thinking of just making it free on
Mhm.
YouTube because it's
Mhm.
difficult to control piracy. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, of course, like if we only work with YouTube and then make it available only on YouTube, how can I say, the fee or the price we can get from YouTube is really limited, and then it might not be enough to create animation because anime each episode needs to be at least 200,000 US dollars to create one episode in
Mm,
general. So only the revenue from YouTube is not enough. But
exactly.
if we can just combine some VOD platforms like Netflix and then Amazon Prime and then plus YouTube, I think it can make enough profit for the anime studio to make the content available.
Yeah.
And then I think that actually the reason why the anime was not available on YouTube so far is unlike music industry, as some of you may know, like the anime is produced by production committee. So
Mm,
it's a group by many different companies like publisher, music
right.
company, and anime production, and we have to get approval from each of them.
Mm,
So it takes so much time, and even if only one company rejects it, we cannot decide to put it on YouTube. And then usually there are some companies who are opposed to the utilize of YouTube.
mm,
So, but recently, like they tend to be more open-minded,
yeah.
and then even from scratch at the beginning stage of the anime production, like we decide, okay, we will make this anime available on YouTube as well, so that like we can make it easier to get approval from every company. So yeah, I think it's a good trend, and then this
There's a
will,
lot of good and bad, I guess, right?
yeah, that's
as,
true.
as an industry,
Yeah.
if you're just a viewer, you just want to watch,
Mhm.
free content is always the best.
Yeah, that's
but,
true.
but
And as
there's a lot
a
of
fan,
work
yeah, I
and
think it's really good.
yeah, there's a lot of work and effort and money involved
Mhm.
in making it as well. So yeah, it's hard to get the balance right.
That's true.
Yeah. So COVID this year has
Mm.
been very difficult for many industries and a lot of people
Mhm.
as well. Do you
Mhm.
think it has affected the anime industry much? Because like movies are still doing pretty well. Like this
Mhm.
year, the Demon Slayer movie that came out,
Demon Slayer, yes.
it did
Mhm.
so well, right? It did so well.
Mhm.
So how has COVID affected the anime industry?
So in the first 6 months of this year, which means like before July or August, the situation was super messy, and then because people have to take social distance, so the animators and then even the manga artists cannot gather in one place to work on the content. So there are significant delay for anime production. So
Mm,
in Japan, some TV stations has to repeat the same episode again every week.
yeah,
But now, like the anime production scheme has been changed a little bit to adjust to the new normal. So animators can work from home and then they can make animation even remotely from the anime studio. So now I think everything goes back to the normal schedule, and then there is more good thing for anime production because more and more people stay home and they watch anime content. So the viewer rate just skyrockets. It was
yeah.
very good for the anime business, actually.
So it's good, I guess.
It was good, yeah.
Okay, that's really good news for all of us, I guess.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah. And then, of course, as you said, like success of Demon Slayer was such a big news.
Have you watched Demon Slayer?
Yeah, I watched it. It was amazing.
I still haven't watched it, so no spoiler, please.
I hope like, the movie gonna be available in Nepal as well.
I have
has been like
no
Nepal.
idea. I think
But you said like cinemas in Nepal has been closed since
well,
March.
firstly, there's never been anime movie in the cinemas
Oh,
in
okay.
Nepal, as
Mm,
far as I know in my
I
lifetime.
see.
So
Ah,
the only way of getting it is pirated.
oh, okay.
Uh, so
I
it
hope
has
that,
piracy has helped grow anime, you know,
yeah, that's
like
true.
the
Got the popularity.
popularity of anime. But
Yeah, maybe someday.
I hope so.
I hope like the cinemas in Nepal can also like broadcast and show the anime contents.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they're more open to it
Mm-hmm.
because I think anime in Nepal is seen more like a still like a cartoon for young.
For the child and the kids.
Yeah, that exposure hasn't been there for the majority of the population to understand
Mm.
anime is also for adults, you know,
Mm.
and teenagers and everyone.
I see.
I think that needs to change for it to be more easily acceptable and available in the cinemas as well. I think,
Yeah. Mm.
yeah, like a whole generation has to change. I think.
Yeah, it must be a hassle, but
Yeah,
maybe in the future.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see.
I hope so. Yeah. So, what do you think about the growth of anime and
Mhm.
manga and also Japanese culture in general outside Japan? Have you seen like the growth, the changes, and like how do you feel about it?
Oh, so the time when I got to love anime, it was like about like 15 years ago, I guess. That was the beginning era for the anime popularity outside of Japan. I mean, like some people, of course, love anime for longer time, even more than 20 years ago sometimes. But I feel like 15 years ago, it was a time when Naruto got such huge popularity and then more and more people started watching anime. So even at that time, I feel that there are some like same-minded people outside of Japan, and then actually that was one big reason for me to start thinking about working in the anime industry, to especially in the international marketing and then licensing field. But when the time like goes by, I feel actually more and more light fans, not only the core fans, but like some general people start watching anime.
Mm,
Maybe because of the not only Netflix but Crunchyroll or Funimation or some other local platforms, even for YouTube, make the content available for everybody. So
mm,
I really like it. I feel more and more people know about anime. So it's not only for the fandom, but for everybody.
mm.
I can feel it like there is a huge trend which spreads the anime all
So,
over the world.
can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background, like before you got into the anime industry, like how did you get into it?
So actually, I graduated from the University of Tokyo in Japan, and then while I was in the college student, I took 3 years off, and then studied in America for 2 years, and then also studied in France and then Hong Kong
Oh wow.
for half a year each. And then when I was studying abroad, I traveled around many places to visit anime convention.
Mm,
And then the whole reason why I do such kind of like a long study abroad and then travel period is I wanted to know how the local anime fans think. Sorry, I think I have to explain a little bit even for the earlier period of mine. So when I was a high school student, I was a grade from Code Geass. And
okay.
then and then I read many blogs and then found art online, and then but I couldn't get satisfied enough, and I even started Google the blogs and then the articles written in English, and
Mm,
then I encountered one blog which is like analysis of each episode of Code Geass, and I really liked it. So
mm,
I started sending email back and forth with the author of
mm,
the blog, and then that was moment for me that I realized there are many a bit fans of anime around the world, and then even if there's a huge distance between us in terms of the physical place, but we can just talk and then laugh and then have a fun with each other through anime. That was very surprising pleasure for me. So from that experience, I started studying about anime fandom outside of Japan, and then decided to study abroad and then go to many conventions to get to know about other fans more.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. Actually, at that time, like there are not so many students who try to get to know the anime situation outside of Japan. So the Japanese government also kindly supported me and by giving the scholarship
That's
to
really good.
study abroad.
So now that we know you've traveled many places, met many
Yeah.
anime fans around the world,
Mhm.
can you tell us if anime fans are different than in Japan and outside Japan?
Sure, I feel everybody is really similar. Of course, there's some difference because of the cultural, diversity, but in general, they are so similar. And in Japan, I'm a kind of person who is really like a awkward and then timid to approach others. But outside of Japan, when I say like, oh, I like this anime, I love this character, instantly I can make friends with many people, and then in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I feel like I have been talking with them for such a long time, and then I feel as if we are long time friends. So yeah, I think as long as we love anime or the same characters or the
Very
same
same.
culture, yeah, everybody is kind of same. It was
At
very
least
interesting.
how they feel about anime or how anime
Mhm.
makes them feel, I think.
Yeah. This kind of like a community feeling.
You get this sense of connection, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have a question by an Instagrammer called Artsy Life by Shalini.
Mhm.
And her question is, where can we read your doujinshi work? Is it accessible online?
So a few years ago, I posted my doujinshi translated in English on the website called Archive of Our Own.
Okay.
I don't know if you are familiar with that or not, but like at least in the US, when I was studying there, every anime fan uses that website to read fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to use it, but it was such a hassle for me to translate things into English. So now I'm only using a website called Pixiv, which
Okay.
is the most popular like a fan fiction or fan art website in Japan.
Okay.
And then so you can read my doujin works on Pixiv, and then I also have my own e-commerce site on that Pixiv. So you can even purchase my doujinshi, and then it has a like online like a international shipping. But I know it costs so much money. So if you are interested, you can contact me. I'm totally after sending my like a doujinshi PDF to you. But it's all in Japanese. So if you can study Japanese with my doujinshi.
Okay. If you send me the link, I'll put it on the video as well.
Okay.
Do you do a lot of doujinshi? Like, have you done many, or like how many like works do you have?
Yeah, so I think I published more than 10 books so far.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. I spent so much time on it.
So how do you balance your work life and your doujinshi? Because I'm guessing that is a separate. It's not part of your work, right?
Yes, sure. There was a time that like I wrote kind of scenario for not some anime but for some games. So at the time, my hobby was kind of my job, but now I totally separated. So my job is just licensing, and then my hobby is writing and then making doujinshi. So work-life balance, that is very tough thing. I think I just sacrifice my sleeping time a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And do you do some gaming as well?
Not much. I tried some gaming, like here, the games such as Fate, Grand Order is
Mm.
super popular. Everybody plays it. So I tried by myself. I was not gamer originally, so I couldn't get into it so much,
Yeah.
and then I stopped playing it. So now I don't play any games. Oh, other than Yu-Gi-Oh game because I'm working for it. So yeah.
All right. And you play the card games, right? Physical card for you.
I have such a weak duelist. I cannot beat any of other players. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think like I can call myself as a like a TCG like a card game player. I just have cards in my house.
But you know how to play.
Yeah, I know how to play, but I don't play a lot.
Yeah, same here. I know how to play. I have some cards, but I don't think I'm like a gamer, like card gamer. So. But yeah, Yuka-san, thank you so much. Those are some of the questions we had for you today.
Okay, thank you so
for
much.
attending. Do you have any message for the viewers?
So I really enjoy like just this talking and then attending for the Nepal convention. I wish I could attend the con by myself, but like this time it was online event. So maybe next year or sometime in the future, I hope I can attend in person for the physical convention. And then if any of you have a chance to come to visit Japan, you can feel free to contact me. I'm happy to show you around in Tokyo and then maybe visit some anime related places in Japan.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to everyone watching live. I hope you're enjoying the show. We shall carry on with the next segment. Thank you again, Yuka-san. Arigatou gozaimasu.
ありがとうございました。